Hello everybody and welcome to a spooky mini Q&A. This is the series where you guys throw questions my way related to all manner of Disney, whether it's the parks or the movies or the history, and I try to give you the answers to the best of my ability. Now I'm going to give the same preface that I gave in the last Q&A, which is that I apologize ahead of time because this is going to be a little bit shorter than usual. I'm going out of town. I should be out of town like right now, or I'm doing the 24-hour live stream for charity, but either way I sort of needed to pre-make a few videos to make sure that there was some content for you guys. So here I am. Gonna answer some questions at the Mickey's Fall Fair here on MC Magic, and we're gonna do a little bit of parkour while I answer a few questions. So our first question comes from DVC Pig with Glasses, who asks, how come the Circle of Life ride is in Epcot instead of the Animal Kingdom? Thanks, and have a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious day. So you're referring to, it's not a ride as much as it's just a show, the Circle of Life in the Land Pavilion. Now, there's actually I think a shorter answer to this and then a longer answer. The short answer is there was no Animal Kingdom when it was made. The Circle of Life in the Land Pavilion opened in 1995. The Animal Kingdom didn't open until 1998, so there just was no Animal Kingdom to put it in. Now, that said, the theme of the Circle of Life is all about, well, the circle of life, and the Land Pavilion's all about us living with nature and living with the land, and so I think it is a very fitting place to have it. I think sometimes we think of the superficial theming of an attraction. You think, well, the Animal Kingdom is about animals, and the Lion King is a bunch of animals, so it belongs there, but really, the bigger theme is that it's about the land and living with the land, and that's sort of the message of the Circle of Life, and so it's actually a little bit more fitting to be in that Epcot pavilion, in my opinion. And I guess just time was on its side because, you know, there was no Animal Kingdom. But interesting question. Our next question comes from Level 30 Diamond Armor person, who asks, I have a question. What do you think about putting rides in World Showcase for things that are popular there, such as the UK having a Doctor Who ride? I think this is an awesome idea. Now, partially, I'm just in love with the idea of a Doctor Who ride as a Doctor Who fan. But the idea of putting an attraction in these World Showcase pavilions in order to, I don't know, bring some fresh life to the to bring some fresh life to these pavilions would be a great idea. I think some people think they're too sacred to touch, or that's not what it's supposed to be, but the idea is these parks are always supposed to evolve and change, and that's why we're seeing a Frozen ride put in Norway. Is, yeah, sure, maybe when, you know, Norway was first opened, that's not the sort of thing that would have gone there, but times change and what people want changes, and there's no reason not to sort of appeal to that. I'm trying to think of what others you would put, like an Aladdin ride in Morocco, maybe, or maybe if you do keep it local, I guess, I don't know. I don't know what's like popular in like French culture that you could put in France and stuff like that, but I would love to see more attractions in World Showcase. We've got the space, why not use it? Next question comes from Zach, who asks, what's your favorite kind of Disney transportation and why? This is going to be a super biased answer, but the monorail. I know it's an easy answer too, like most people are going to say the monorail, but for me it's the monorail because I grew up and live in New York City, and I ride the subway every single day to go to work, and it is packed and crowded and gross and smelly, and it's just sort of, it works and it's amazing for what it is, which is a transportation system that serves millions of people a day, but it is also far from ideal, and the monorail at the Disney, on the other hand, is like the futuristic, it's the train system of the future. So I love it just because I get to see, I did not do that on purpose, I swear. I just like to see what, you know, a really nice futuristic train, you know, system would be like. So that's my favorite. 84 Weber asks, what do you think is going to replace Backlot Tour in Hollywood Studios? We have no idea, right? We know part of the exit's going to be temporarily set up as Oaken's trading post, but we don't really know what the bulk of that space is going to be used for. My guess is we'll see an expansion to either Pixar's space, or it'll just be a general expansion for Disney animated films. For instance, you know, Frozen isn't Pixar, neither is Big Hero 6 or Wreck-It Ralph, but I think we could see some stuff from there, and just the idea of that 3D animated you know, those properties I think would get an expansion in that area, and I'd be excited to see that. Based on what I've previewed from Big Hero 6, I can't wait to see it get popular. I can't wait to see it do well, and I hope to see some presence for it in the parks. So that'd be a nice place to put something related to it. And then finally this week, Orlando Coaster asks, "Hey Rob, I was curious, do you think that Universal's rides are a little more advanced than Disney's rides? For example, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts is a next-generation, very advanced 3D thrill ride, and Under the Sea at MK is a ride reincarnated from the 1970s. That's a tough one to answer, and the reason for that is because I haven't been to Universal in a long time, so I can't speak from experience. I'm sure there is more of a focus. You know, I think Universal's all about that sort of cutting edge, but I think that's because they need to be. They need to be because I think Universal doesn't have nearly as many beloved properties. Now, yeah, Harry Potter's doing really well, and that's such a big space, but it doesn't have the sort of, like, the Little Mermaid's something that kids enjoy, and it's something that adults enjoy because they grew up with it. And you get to the older films, Cinderella, forget about it. Those have such a history that or Universal just can't keep up with that, and so they need to compensate in other ways, and they do it, I think, through technological marvels, which is great because that's what a company is supposed to do. They're supposed to find their weaknesses and offset them with their strengths. And I think Disney, on the other hand, knows that they have all these amazing properties, so they don't have to be as cutting edge about it. That's not to say that they don't use some cutting edge technology, but there's less of a pressure. So I do think there is a difference. I haven't been there recently enough to speak to the sort of just how much of that difference is. But you know, that's it is how it is. I would love to see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. I'm sure some of you have been to Universal far more recently than I have. And please tell me we'll get to finish this parkour before the end of the episode. I want to thank you all for your questions. If you have a question you would like me to answer, please leave it in the comments below, or you can let me know. Awesome. You can let me know on Twitter. I'm at Rob Plays on Twitter. I'm Rob Plays That Game on Instagram and Facebook. Have a great week, guys. Whatever you're doing, make the most of it because it makes it that much better. If you enjoyed these videos, best thing you can do is tell a friend. Maybe they'll enjoy it too. And if you want, you can subscribe yourself and you'll get your Disney fix on a regular basis. Anyway, have a great week, guys, and I'll see you all next time for the next Disney Q&A.